Okay, we're live. Right, let's go on there. Right. We have you. Fabulous, fabulous. Let me just, before we start, let me just share this into a few of my groups.
No pobs. Can you hear the TV in the background, or we?
Yeah, I can hear your TV in the background. Yeah.
Don't turn it off.
If you're happy to.
Yeah. One sec. Done.
Right. Share. Thank you. Right. Let me just share this into here. Just to make that live, and then we just share it onto my other page. Share that. My own timeline. Okay, there. And we'll just share it into my other group.
Okay.
Shared here. And finally share into my other group. Just building a few people up.
No problems.
Share into the group. Right. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you all. Just to firstly introduce myself to you all. My name is Jonathan Waterman. I'm an award-winning wedding and events Toastmaster, planner, celebrant consultant, a sales and marketing trainer, a booking agent, provider for PPE, sponsorship consultant for the Black Beauty Fashion Awards and more. I love to work closely with all my clients, offering only a personalised, exclusive and unique experience. This evening, I'm delighted to be interviewing Marc Gough. Here is a little bit about Marc, which he supplied me earlier, a little bio. My name is Marc Gough. With over 20 years experience in the event industry, Whitehouse Crockery was started out of passion to supply the best plates, glassware and cutlery to wedding and events all over the UK and Europe. We have graced many high-profile events to small intimate dinner parties, and with one of the largest selections of charger plates in the UK, we provide an excellent service to grace your tables. Marc's website is www.whitehousecrockery.co.uk. I'm really honoured to have Marc here this evening. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you. However, before we start, let's just pay a quick homage to everybody. Have them in your thoughts. 46,000 people excuse me, have now lost their lives during this terrible COVID-19 episode. So I just ask you just to keep these people in your thoughts and say your prayers for them. You know that they're resting in peace, and they had to depart this world in the most tragic of ways. So just have them in your thoughts, and thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Marc, a very good evening to you.
Good evening, Jonathan.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Not bad, not bad. And yourself?
Yes, very, very well, thank you. Cheers. So lovely to be interviewing you this evening. First of all, can I ask you just to please reiterate and tell people who you are and what you do, and just elaborate on the services you provide in a bit of detail, please.
Sure. Okay. So my name is Marc. I am the company director of Whitehouse Crockery. Very niche kind of business. So we supply plates, glassware, cutlery all over the UK, all over Europe, Ireland. We probably have one of the largest ranges of charger plates currently in the UK. So we operate from a 10,000 square foot warehouse. We probably do about 45 different charger plates. We sort of stock about 1,000 per charger plate. So we've got in excess of, you can work the maths out, it's about 45,000 charger plates.
Oh my God.
Thousands of glasses, thousands of pieces of cutlery. And unfortunately right now, a little bit quiet, a little bit eerie. Yep. But fingers crossed. Obviously, I bit of an advocate in fighting for for our voice of the wedding and event industry to be heard. Not just for us, really, it's also for brides as well, who are so desperate to know when they can get married, and also have a party for more than 30 people.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, really interesting, though, because I know how passionate you are, to be honest with you, Mark. You only had to show me the BBC video. It was amazing. They they basically, Mark sent me over a video, and Mark was featured on BBC, you know, showing the side of his warehouse, you know, what he does, you know, what it's like now during COVID-19. I mean, it's just amazing how you've really expanded so much. What's the most weddings or events you can have in a day, Mark, with your
okay, so we can pretty much do 100 events, jobs in a weekend. Not a problem at all. It's a logistical planning nightmare. So we will have jobs in London, Scotland, down in Cornwall, down in Bristol, you know, all over the place. And we can do multiple jobs, you know. So for us, it's you know, we've had a lot of issues. We've had to move a lot of jobs, a lot of postponements, which has been great. Brides have been absolutely fantastic. They have contacted me. They've changed the date, so it's been absolutely wonderful. Because we have a massive amount of stock. It's quite easy for us to move. But you know, we do have there's thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of plates, glassware, and cutlery. Very well maintained by my team. I have a team of 9. Obviously, usually take more on this time of the year. And we can turn jobs around very quickly, very, very, very quickly.
This is fantastic. So, I mean, you mentioned, obviously, you're knowing that you're a Manchester-based, and you said you go to Cornwall, you go to Scotland. So you've got like sort of drivers that you're employed by yourself, have you? That go here and everywhere?
So we've got 3 vehicles on the road at any one time.
Yeah.
I have an operations manager who will sort of map with myself the daily routes of the drivers.
Yeah.
And obviously we're in London. We're usually in London about 3-4 times a week.
Right.
Believe it or not, sometimes it's probably cheaper for a client to use us and our transport than it is to find a supplier in London for the kind of products that we do, because we can obviously have multi jobs on our vehicles. Obviously, it spreads out the cost for our clients, and we make it, you know, very amenable and very easy for brides, event companies to use us, because we literally sort everything out for them. You know, to the point of contacting the venue, we sort of take the bride out of the equation. You know, once the bride's done with us, we take her out. We take them out. We take her out of the equation, and we put her peace of mind, knowing that the goods that we provide are delivered there on time, way before the wedding. We'll liaise with their wedding planner, coordinator, and it's just a little thing that's taken off their mind, and know that it's all done for them.
No, well, this is fantastic, because it's an excellent service that you offer, because what you're doing is you're alleviating the stress of the bride. You're providing you're providing a very unique service, and that's a very, very good unique selling point, that, you know, you care. It shows that you care. You know, you're not just there to take the client's money and then whatever happens. You're there to see it through. And that's always good as well, because it's when you're pulling in, you know, work like that, you know, you're really, really shining, and then you're going to get the reviews and the recommendations. So, you know, people, that goes a long way, especially, as you say, with the market that we're in. You know, it's repeats and recommendation that counts, doesn't it, really?
It certainly is. You know, we have our products sell themselves, so it's all about pretty pictures. So we have a very, very, very strong presence on social media. So Instagram, we are literally just under 18,000 followers.
Yeah.
Facebook, we're roughly about 6,000 followers there, and also Pinterest is a great tool for us. And to be honest, I actually I do employ a full-time social media person just to manage our social media. We're involved in an incredible amount of shoots every week, again, all over the country, using our products, so we've got massive amounts of content, and that's what we want to give our brides. We want them to be inspired by our Instagram page, by our Pinterest page, and also, you know, the fun things that you can do on Facebook. Again, we now and again do competitions to win, you know, charger plates, you know, 100 charger plates. And it's all that interaction which we find so important to keep our clients engaged.
Yeah, I mean, basically, have it being ahead, particularly on Facebook, for example, and Instagram, it's important because Facebook, there's the algorithms. They like it if you things like competitions, things like
Video content.
Competitions is always very good. There's the other things that they really like in terms of the Facebook really like. I mean, you know, correct me if I'm wrong here. They like you to do blogs as well. They love blogs.
We do.
Anything to do with guest interaction is always good, and you find that the competitions and polls and that sort of thing are really good because it gets everybody interacting.
Yeah.
No, excellent. So I'm just curious, out of all this, Mark, as we're going through, how did it all actually start for you then? How did you come into the wedding industry?
Okay, so started. Obviously, I'm showing my age now and full head of hair. Not short now, a few grey ones. So my background was actually a photographer. So enjoyed it. However, I got a bit disheartened. I then went to work with an event company. I'm not going to say the name. And I then created a linen hire business. So I then worked alongside the event company, and I created probably one of the biggest and largest linen hire businesses in Manchester many years ago. And I was then headhunted by a very large laundry company based in Cheltenham to head up their event side of linen. So I went from sort of running a business to being employed. Very challenging, very different. However, recession hit. And in the background of my mind, I'd sort of played along with the plates glassware previously. I knew there was a niche marketplace for these products and to be done really well. So obviously with my knowledge and background and contacts within the linen side of the business, I decided to take the plunge and start another business, as you do in a recession. So 2009, Whitehouse is born. So it was just me on my own, with money invested by myself, thousands of pounds worth of plates, glasses, and cutlery, and here we are today.
Oh, well, do you know what? That's a wonderful story. You know, you've came in, you've been involved in the linen market, you've come in, you've seen a niche in the market, and you've exploited it. Which is, you know, and I like to hear success stories like that. I think it's fantastic, to be honest with you. And I'm just really glad that you've shared this with everybody.
Yeah, very passionate about what I do.
It's very inspiring. Very, I like it. So, you know, with it be a charger plate business and what you're doing, can I ask, markets-wise, what type of market? I mean, obviously there's English wedding, Asian weddings, Jewish corporate. What's the busiest for you, or is it a mixture of everything?
A mixture of everything, to be honest. You know, predominantly is it's probably about a 60-40 split for weddings. So we will deal directly with brides who can make an inquiry to us, to dealing with event planners, dealing with hotels direct, and we then deal with the actual events side, you know, which is completely separate to the weddings. But again, you know, they tend to be. We sometimes get a couple of days' notice for an event, and that's really where we're losing out so much money on these last-minute jobs, because, you know, we technically have no income coming in from these jobs. But it's a split marketplace. You know, we can do stuff. We can react very quickly to a client if they need stuff. It might be in London, might be over in Ireland. You know, we've done jobs. I've done a wedding, again, very short notice, in the Czech Republic. I had like 4 days to get it organised and get it shipped over. You know, again, we've done Monaco. Went to Monaco last year. So that was for the Prince Albert Monaco's his charity ball. And that was great to be part of that experience. However, we just did the charger plates there. I got I was the lucky one to be drawn out the hat to drive it over. So yeah, it was a great experience.
Oh, do you know, that's fantastic. So, I mean, basically, obviously your business takes you both destinations and within the UK.
Yes.
You know, you'll go wherever basically you need to go, hopefully logistically, if it works for you.
Yeah, absolutely. We will supply anywhere, you know, as long as we can get the product there, which, you know, there's lots of means and ways we can do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will, like I say, we'll work anywhere in the UK, Ireland, Europe, you name it, we'll do it.
I know obviously Manchester, Cheshire itself is a busy market. So can I ask you, have you done sort of the likes of the Tatton Hall and the Monastery, those sort of venues?
Yeah, you name any venue outside of Manchester, I've probably done that venue as well. So yeah, we did. Obviously, the Cheshire set is quite a great marketplace. You know, yes. We've adorned the tables of footballers for Christmas parties, for their Christmas parties, and then for their New Year's Eve parties. We've also adorned the tables of, you know, wags and also lots of, you know, famous people in Cheshire. You know, which is a great experience, and it's nice to do these things.
Oh, it's fantastic. That's excellent. Thank you for sharing that with us. So, if I can ask you then, Mark, obviously you've been talking about where you are at the moment, in terms of what you're doing with the charger plates and other things. What plans do you have for expansion, and what are your plans for the future, would you say?
So currently, obviously we've got to look at the current situation now with regards to expansion. Just before lockdown, I did purchase new stock, a new range of gold cutlery. I also, excuse me, purchased in excess of 10,000 new charger plates that are new to the marketplace, and also a new range of porcelain with a gold rim and a silver rim. Now, this was all done pre-lockdown, because obviously we have to work out the timings and when we do things. So February and March is when I sort of start to look. Beginning of March, I press the buttons. Lo and behold, COVID-19 comes along, which completely throws us. So I did continue to with the purchases that had already been made and everything. However, they'd all been delayed because all the factories I buy all over the world. So all my new gold cutlery has arrived, all my charger plates arrived, and also my porcelain is just about to arrive any minute now. So I tend to look at the current trends, what needs to be, what people are looking at, what people want, and I will continue to do that even into 2021, when we've had no business. However, as a business, we are in a very strong financial position, which is really, really good. You know, not had any debt. However, we've had to take a loan out just in case, and that will be invested for the future.
No, that's good.
We will also invest in new vehicles, because I think we're going to have to next year, and also new dishwasher. And you know, the business will organically expand due to what will happen in 2021. However, we have to get to 2021 first.
I agree with that, and what you've said is right. It's just a matter of making sure you've got the right working capital, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
That's just important. So now I want to ask you this question, because I've been speaking to you now just for a little while. Where does all the passion come from? You just absolutely love what you do. Where's the passion from?
It's just, I just want to put a smile on the bride's face. I want her to walk in that room and just go, wow. And it's something that I thrive on. I thrive on the buzz, you know, even, you know, in the height of our busiest times of the year, I can have 7 or 8 pages of logistic addresses where we have to deliver stuff. Now, if I put that in front of someone, it can be a very daunting task of knowing what gets picked up first, what gets delivered first. We might have 4 jobs in London. I've got to, you know, get all those 4 jobs delivered in one day to make it, you know, viable. And then it might just take one venue to say, nope, can't do it. You got to do it tomorrow or the next day. You know, throw it back in and start again, you know, and you get the buzz of on the Sunday when you've done every single job, and then it's like a merry-go-round. All comes back in, and we start all over again. So it's the passion that I have for what I do, I wouldn't have the buzz, and if I didn't have my team, it's all about a team effort, and obviously I've got my team. If I didn't have a team, I wouldn't have a business.
Yeah.
So they've also got to take the credit. It's not just me. My team who put everything together, who make it work, who wash the plates, who deliver the plates, and the office who deal with booking the jobs in. It's we thrive on that passion to make it happen for not just the brides, for events all over the place.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because teamwork is key. It's a matter of everyone just pulling together, knowing that you're there to represent the company, because at the end of the day, it's your brand, it's your reputation on the line if something goes wrong.
Absolutely. As they say, you're only as good as your last job.
Yeah.
And we're all about business comes to us. I have no salespeople. Social media, as I say, is very important to us. That's our sales tool, and the inspiration that we give on social media, and also as well we have we've got 5-star every review that we've ever had, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Google, and the referrals that we get from so many people from venues and event companies from all over the country, which is you're only as good as your last job. Yeah,
no, you're absolutely right. I mean, going back to what you said about just a few moments ago, you said you've had your challenges when you've arrived at venues sometimes.
Yep.
Now, I mean, for example, logistics-wise, say, for example, you may have agreed in advance, say you've got a wedding on a Saturday and they've said to you to come on a Friday to deliver. Have you ever actually got to the venue and they've turned you away?
Yep. Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yep. We certainly have. Listen, what goes on behind the scenes of a wedding, as I'm sure you've experienced and seen, as long as that bride has no idea what goes on behind those scenes, as long as she walks into that room and her face is wow, that's all that matters. And I suppose that's the other part of the buzz. Have we delivered the right numbers? And it's not necessarily, we're only human. We can deliver a plate short. We have procedures in place, but it might be the bride or the groom or the venue have said, well, we forgot to mention the kids or the top table or whatever, or we've changed our menu. However, the bride's not told us and we needed spoons and forks. So, going back to that question you asked me, have we got to a venue and they wouldn't let us deliver? Yep, we had it in Manchester, thankfully in Manchester, at Christmas time, where we were told we were allowed to deliver. We actually delivered it, and then a couple of phone calls backwards and forwards. We had to pull it all out and put it back in on the Sunday.
Yeah. I suppose it's like you say, sometimes it's part and parcel. It does happen. Now, just to kind of go back on what we just said when you're talking about logistics, have you ever had any problems, though, for example, where you've got to deliver by a certain time, but you haven't expected the loading bays to be so difficult, so many twists and turns and stairs? Has that happened to you?
It has. However, we have to bite our. My drivers are very good and would have to bite their tongue if they've got a problem. Point of call is me. I will make those phone calls to make it happen. I've had a driver who was arrived at venue and they says, no, you can't deliver till a couple of hours later. Phone call to me, pull a few strings, get it off the van because we've got to go somewhere else. So yeah, it's that's the beauty about the foot. Is it fun? Well, it's stressful. However, I thrive on that. Is every day is a different challenge.
Yeah, well,
from obviously we deliver to so many different venues. And I build up knowledge of venues, so you sort of understand them. However, sometimes I'm going in blind. I'm sending a driver to deliver a job. It might be up 3 flights of stairs, round the corner, down the corridor. Then you've got to hump it, physically carry it, and get the job delivered. However, we do it with a smile on our face, and we'll do the grimacing and the swearing and the shouting afterwards. Never do that in front of the client or the bride. Just get the job done.
Absolutely right. To be honest, and that's a very, very good mentality there. I like that. So, Mark, just to ask you another question, a very, very interesting question here. Obviously, you spoke to me about testimonials. You spoke to me that venues recommend you. You've got a very, very good name out there, which I know you have. So, tell me then, what's your 3 USPs that put you ahead of the competition? Would you say? What value? But what value do you give your clients that people love?
Quality of product.
Yep.
Customer service.
Yes.
Is a really good USP, and I suppose the price. You get what you pay for. I'm not going to say that we are the cheapest. There's lots of cutlery hire places, crockery hire places, but they just do basic stuff. Yeah. You're getting a service for us. We get so many comments from venues and locations where they can literally just put the glass on the table without polishing it, and the cutlery straight out of the bags and straight onto the tables, because that's what we do. We polish it before it even leaves the building, which is so important. And presentation. I'm going to say a few more here, so I do apologise. I know you only said 3. Branding,
yeah.
All over our boxes, stickers everywhere, what we do, who we are, and everything else. So we have a theme that runs through from the moment a bride books her wedding, all the way to the end process. It's we hold their hand and we just take the stress away from them.
So you nurture them as much as you can, which is good, really. So just to ask you, I mean, obviously you pay someone to do your social media, and it's very, very successful. Like you said, your Instagram, your Facebook, etc. Do you get much business actually from these platforms, or is it more word of mouth for you? Would you say?
Both. I can walk into my office every single day. I don't have to pick up that phone to phone round to chase to an event company or to a hotel or to anyone. It comes to us, which is a great position to be in. So social media, when we do get an inquiry, it's a question that we ask our client who is looking to use us. Where did you hear about us? Did you hear from Facebook, Instagram? Were you a referral? And we monitor all the different levels of content of where they know about us, and that's where we look at in greater detail of do we spend more money in the on the Facebook or Instagram or whatever we need to do.
Yeah, it's always a good thing to do that, actually, to ask people how they saw you, and then you build it up in your CRM, don't you? I take it, and then we do.
We have a CRM database.
Yeah.
So every inquiry goes onto that CRM database.
Yeah.
We send out a quotation usually within less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
Sometimes a bit longer depending on the time of the year. Excuse me. And then we will follow up that bride in 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, just as a reminder, knowing of when the date of the event is. We follow that up another 2 times. Any one time we could possibly have £500,000 worth of quotations on our system.
Wow.
Got to convert that. Yeah.
Wow. Well, so out of all the events you've done, obviously I know you've done hundreds and thousands and everything. What's the biggest event you've ever done now, Mark? If you had to say, if there was one event that stood out for you that was huge, can you recall it at all?
Huge as in the actual volume of stuff, or huge as in
huge as in the volume of stuff that you've delivered?
I suppose it's actually quite local to us. We actually provide for again, this is a corporate job, which is the Bolton Food Festival.
Wow.
So we supply all the stuff for the gala dinner, and what then happens is chefs from very well known celebrity chefs from all over the country do a specific course, and we also do lots of stuff throughout the weekend, the bank holiday weekend. Of the Bolton Food Fest. Now, to us, that is an extremely high revenue stream for us. And again, we're dealing with chefs of things like Ainsley Harriott, Aidan Byrne, Andrew Nutter, who who are great. You know, some Simon Wood. You know, some great chefs.
Yeah.
Some in the northwest, some all over the place. John Christophe Novelli. You know, who have made stuff and their stuff is then graced on my plates, which is great to see. You know, it's that's great to see. In terms of great jobs that we've done. I will do a bit of name dropping here. So last year we did Ellie Goulding's wedding.
Okay.
And again, it's great. Unfortunately, there was no images on that when it was a complete utter ban on pictures.
Yeah.
But it's a great to be involved in these kind of jobs. And again, we have worked many times with a florist, an international florist from America called Karen Tran.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've done, so when she comes to the UK, we're their partner for them to supply plates, glasses and cutlery. So that's a great experience, to see it all put together, and to meet so many different people from, and obviously people from all over the world come to these events, which is a great experience.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Karen Tran there. I know how. I mean, she's vast. She's an absolute star, really. To be honest with you, an influence.
Very influential. Yeah.
I mean, you talk about. Influential. I mean, have you sort of come across and worked with the likes of Rob Van Helden? Those type.
Yeah, with Rob. No, Rob. Yep. No, Rob.
Yeah, because he's very talented, isn't he?
Yeah, Amy Bone Flowers, Paula Rooney Flowers.
Wow.
Bruce Russell. Lots of jobs with Bruce.
Yeah.
The list is endless. We've worked with lots of different people. Yeah. There was Steve Duggan Events, who was actually on telly the other day.
Yeah.
I know all these people, and it's great to be a part of that inner circle, and to work with these guys.
No, that's fine. That's very, very good. As I say, it's reputation. You do a good job. You put your heart and soul into it, and the results pay. At the end of it, because people get to hear about you. The funny thing is, you do a good job, it spreads. But if the work's poor, it spreads more.
It does. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on to a totally different area now. Now I want to ask you a question on something that's come up so much during this COVID-19 episode that I would like your take on this. Do you feel that wedding and events insurance should be standard to all clients, and why?
Tough question. Yes, I do. I suppose it's any kind of risk that we're doing, or it's like driving a car. We need insurance to drive a car. We need insurance to go on holiday. So those kind of things, I think it is really important that brides do take out insurance to cover themselves, because anything can happen. Believe it or not, I did a wedding and it was due to take place just before lockdown. On that last weekend before lockdown, the numbers were 80. It got slightly reduced to 70. We delivered the job. However, I get a phone call from the venue to say, on the day of the wedding, to say you need to come pick all the stuff up. It then transpired that the bride's father had fallen down some steps and broke his leg. So unfortunately, the wedding couldn't take place. They have claimed on their insurance, and obviously it's been accepted. But we do have a very big issue with the current climate at the moment with insurance policies, and it's not necessarily just the insurance policies from the bride trying to claim or moving a job, moving a date, should I say. It's also as a business to claim on insurance, because we're all been told we're not covered for infectious diseases, COVID-19. Well, we can't be covered for COVID-19 because we didn't know it was there. Any insurance company will do its best to wriggle out of making a payment. However, I do feel it's very important that all brides do take out a cover for insurance. We don't offer that service because we can't link what we do to a financial product. However, as an independent bolt on that a bride should take should be insurance. You know, she gets a wedding dress, she'll look at a cake, she'll look at you know, lighting or a dance floor or florist. On that list, insurance.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And it's funny what you just said, literally, in terms of insurance and COVID-19. Believe it or not, the figures actually show that only 30% of people took out insurance prior to the COVID-19 episode. Now, what concerns me is one thing is that certain insurance companies, a couple of months before COVID-19 started, were actually given the indemnity for were covering the pandemics. Believe it or not, John Lewis was, and one or two others. Debenham. They tried their best to wiggle their way out, like you said, but they're ending up paying out because they know it's on the cover. So how it stands now is, as you said, you know, you won't get coverage now for any pandemic, but but insurance is always good if you're going to have a cover. God forbid there's a death in the family. So the venue goes into liquidation, the supplier goes into liquidation. Anything could happen, and it makes life a lot easier all round, really. Because what do you think?
Absolutely. You know, there's so many websites for brides with a checklist, and on top of that checklist, you know, the top 5 should have that word insurance. You know, on the checklist, you might have the florist, you might have a caterer, you've got the venue, you've got the dance floor, the cake. Obviously, they can tick what they want to choose to be part of that wedding. However, every single bride should take out insurance. I think it's really, really important.
No, thank you for your point of view on that. That's much appreciated, Mark. So you know, you were talking before about COVID-19 impacting on your business. I mean, just obviously, how do you see the future of the wedding and events industry? What's your take on it, on the whole thing?
So me personally, I think, as you mentioned before, I'm quite vocal and a bit of an advocate for our sector, the wedding and event sector. So personally, I've been on lots of radio shows to discuss what's going on and how it has impacted the business. I was featured on the BBC last week, and actually just before we have gone live this evening, was featured again on the BBC, which is Northwest. That hopefully be posted on social media, so lots of brides can also see that as well. It's impacted us massively. You know, so you know, potentially our turnover could be 90% down on the year, which is a huge amount of money. You know, we have no income coming in.
No.
You know, we have clients who owe us money. However, we're all in that same position. They can't afford to pay because they've also got no income coming in. I feel all my staff are furloughed, which is I don't have a choice because we literally don't have work. I do have work to do in the warehouse. However, we don't have enough money to pay all the wages. We will get through the pandemic. We will get through this. I am a big advocate of lobbying the government about recognising our sector. We have, excuse me, we have been forgotten. You know, Boris, Rishi, 4th of July, hospitality back to work. I don't think they understand the tiny cogs. Well, we're not tiny. You know, we're a £70 billion sector, weddings and events. So to create an event, you've got a venue, you've got a florist, you've got a cake, you've got dance floor, you've got lighting, you've got Toastmaster, you've got plates and glasses. You know, you've got love letters. You know, there's so many different sectors that create an event that I don't think they see and understand. And you know, I have seen on Twitter saying, you know, the sector needs rescuing. However, it's too late. We're already in the season.
Yes.
Nothing. We're now, so people get married in May, June, July. Or, I mean, people get married all year round, which is great for us. But predominantly, they say the wedding industry is done over the summer. We're now coming into August, and we can only have a wedding for up to 30 people. I would need to do approximately 3,500 weddings in the month of August, just to get anywhere near my turnover for August.
Of course.
I don't do 3,500 weddings in a year.
No.
So it has seriously affected the how the business operates. We can't really change our model because we do what we do. However, we are in a financial strong position. We will come through this financially fine. Obviously, we want to support our brides who have booked us, and we will be gracing their tables as soon as possible.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, when do you, in your, I know obviously I'm not going to ask you to call exactly when you think, but when do you think things will resume back to a normal sort of state? For larger weddings.
When this all started, I thought August we'd be back. However, I've now got brides who are moving their September weddings. I've had brides who've moved December weddings already. Because it's a very intimate part of of the family of getting married. They want their father to hold their hand walking down, or whoever.
Yeah.
And they want to dance. They want to socially interact with each other, because that's what it's all about. It's very intimate. If you can go to a pub with 100 strangers, why can't you have a wedding?
Absolutely right.
And it's heartbreaking to watch what we see on television, and they can go to the beach, they can queue up outside a supermarket or queue up outside Sports Direct, hundreds of people. However, we can't have a wedding, and I feel sorry for the brides. Yeah,
it is. It's kind of the world's a different place, really.
It is.
Yeah,
it is. However, I think we get back to normality. Obviously, there's lots of talk today of a vaccine. Do we have to wait for a vaccine? I think we've got to take that calculated word risk.
Yeah.
Whilst as you mentioned before, the sad number of deaths. What could be even worse is the devastating effect of the mass unemployment, and then the loss of jobs. And the mental impact on people after this, which I think will be a bigger problem than the actual virus.
Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to agree with you, because it's affected so many people mentally. I've spoken to a lot of people in the market, people who I know too, and they're literally they're on the verge of breakdowns. Everyone, so I think all we can try and do, I mean, easier said than done, is to try and stay positive.
Yeah.
And then hopefully things will get better. That's all we can do. Like you say, with a vaccine, do we take a chance or not? We just don't know, do we? Really, it's all a waiting game, unfortunately. Really.
Mm-hmm.
So just coming to the last question now, with you, Mark. Can I just kind of ask you, what else would you like to add? Summing this interview that I've given you, what else would you like to add to it?
Well, obviously, if there's any brides watching, hope there are. Stay positive. If you can, and your wedding is coming up, and you can move it and postpone it, move it. I appreciate it's immensely stressful, but obviously, all your partners who are working with you, even if it's with me, we're more than happy to help. We, as my business, and I would advocate to lots of businesses like mine, if they can, we've moved free of charge. So we will move any wedding free of charge if it needs to be moved. There's no additional cost. We're not asking for any more money up front from a client. We just moved it, So and also we then get the support, from our brides. If do we want any more? Can we give you any more money? Whilst they know it's tough. It's not really needed at the moment. And I would strongly suggest that if we have got lots of partners here as well who may be watching this, is to work with your clients, make it amenable for them to move. And if you are a photographer or a Toastmaster or a cake or a photographer, that you can't do that date, before you tell that client you can't do that date, is maybe work with a group of photographers, and go back to that bride and say, listen, unfortunately we can't do it. However, I'm going to work with this photographers who we worked with before can do that date, and make it work, make it happen. It's the most important day of a bride. She wants the most beautiful wedding ever, and she doesn't want to be told by anyone, sorry, no, we can't do it. Sorry, we know we're going to increase it because of X, Y, Z. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to break their hearts even more.
Yeah, no, I think what you said is absolutely, to be honest with you, it's on the button, really. I mean, I probably couldn't have put that a better way myself. So, look, thank you very, very much, Mark. It's a matter of all the industry, look, just working closely together.
Yeah, we're here as a team.
Yes, yeah. We are. And if anyone needs help from anybody else, everyone's amicable. And all they've got to do is ask. I've always said that to people. I know you're the same. You're very approachable. So if people have any, anything they want to ask. So if I can ask you then, Mark, how would you like to close the interview?
Is anybody? I don't know how many's watching because I can't see this. Yeah. Has anyone got any questions? That I'm more than happy to help.
Yeah, well, what we do is in relation to questions. Well, people that answer, we'll put it on the forum here, and then you can come and answer them. So Mark will be only too pleased to answer any questions you have, any concerns within the industry or in relation to his business. He'll be only too pleased.
Yeah, I mean, I've had phone calls from other high companies from all over the country, not necessarily the kind of products that we do, but just phoning me because they've heard me on the radio or seen me on the TV, and just offering support, and we'll help each other out. And this has been a great experience. And and I read something, I did read something about someone else who we've all got competition in our business, but it's at times like this it's been great to talk to competitors, to work together, to understand how we can get through this, as a team of professionals in the event industry, to get through this and make it happen, and connect with people that you never connected with previously, and it's a great opportunity. Yeah, no,
absolutely fantastic. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say first of all, a big thank you to you all for tuning in this evening, and I hope you took something out of it. Mark, he really he spoke from the heart about how he feels, and he's answered some very, very interesting industry questions, which you can look back on the video, you can take out of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want to say thank you very much, and a very, very big thank you to Mark for taking the time to join us this evening to share your points of view. So, Mark, a big thank you to you.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Cheers. Okay.